Hey there, and welcome to I Reckon I'll Read It, the podcast where two Okie gals talk books, share recs, and don't hold back on their mighty big opinions. I'm Beccah.
And I'm Summer. We're so glad you're here. Go ahead and grab some sweet tea, get cozy, and get ready for some good old-fashioned book talk.
We've got a whole heap of books to talk about, and we reckon you're going to want to stick around.
Hey, Beccah.
Hi. How have you been?
Having great. How have you been?
Good. I feel like we have not got to spend quality time together, even though I've seen you a lot.
Yeah, I would agree. We've been in the same circles, but we haven't been together.
Yeah. Together. There's not been a lot of book talk.
No.
Because we're just shallow people and that's all we talk about. Kind of.
Well, guess what? We're here. We're sat for 2 hours. We're going to talk books.
I'm going to talk books. The whole reason I had Summer start a podcast with me is so she had to be trapped in a room with me to talk books.
And fun fact, we regularly record over 2 hours of time talking about books, and then we have to cut it down.
Because we can't be serious.
And we still can't break under an hour, so.
I know. We have a problem. But I told my husband basically that, and he was like, would you talk about 6 books?
At least.
Sometimes more.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's hard to do if you're just being flying through it.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's right. People.
Quality content.
Quality. An hour and
roughly 20 minutes.
20-minute quality book talk. Oh, okay. Well, we just really hyped ourselves up. So
hey, if you're new to the podcast, I hope we don't let you down after that big talk up.
I know. They're like, oh crap, I didn't realize it was that long. Just kidding. Just
stick
kidding.
around.
Just stick around, suckers. Okay, I don't know why I said that. I don't like how it came out. It came out like suckers. I was a 1920s newspaper reporter.
Oh, I like this.
Suckers.
I like this voice.
Kind of impressed, even though it didn't really sound like what I said it sounded like.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. That's a pretty good voice for me because we know I'm not very good at them.
Hey, you're starting off strong today.
I am. Well, I've got a good question for you. Okay, so my question, it's I feel like people have big opinions about this.
Okay.
So no pressure. I'm just kidding. People might judge you for your answer.
Okay.
And they're probably going to judge me for my answer because people get real book judgy about this question.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
How do you organize your bookshelves?
Oh, this is a big question.
Uh-huh.
That's a good one. So in general, I feel like I don't have a satisfactory answer. I've done before where I've done it kind of by genre. I have a cube bookshelf where there's a bunch of little cubbies. Mm-hmm. And so in the past, I've done it by genre that way. And then I just got way too many books in my house for a while that I had a whole bookshelf that was only books I've read and a whole bookshelf of TBR. Mm-hmm. I guess mostly genre, but also just kind of what makes me happy. Mm-hmm. And that changes a lot. So I'll have a favorite shelf, and then I'll have a pretty spines shelf, and then I'll have a shelf at eye level so that anyone that walks in my house is oh wow, look at her book selection.
Look how much of a reader she is.
So
these authors,
refined taste.
Yeah, it's all the classics, but like the really hard to say names. It's no one's ever actually read, and you're
yes, look at my bookshelf. Yes,
look at my Les Miserables.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, Les Miserables. Is it Les? I know Les Mis, but Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Is it Mlub or Labbe?
I don't know.
Look at it like that, or look at War and Peace. Look at my. Oh, what's the one that you want to read really bad? That's super long.
Oh, Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, the Count of Monte Cristo, and they're just on your
Alexander
shelves.
Dumas.
Yeah, Dumas. Or is it Dumas?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Obviously, we don't speak French here.
I know.
I reckon.
The boys really got me a couple weeks ago.
What about you? How do you organize your shelves?
We're actually not that different, I think. Because I do have... Well, currently, I just did the built-ins in my living room. And right now, they're... I would say they're kind of by genre, but also just like how they look cute on my shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Which some people, that's like what they're like, how dare you?
Mm-hmm. It's not correct.
It's not correct. They're not in alphabetical order. They're not like by genre. They're not whatever.
By author last name.
Yeah. And not really. And I also, now listen, this is going to be a trigger for some people because some people judge this so much. And they say people who do this like aren't real readers. Well, suckers. I keep calling
You're very like
keep calling people suckers
tonight.
Wow, suckers.
Episode title.
I color block a lot with my books too.
Oh, do you do like the rainbow?
So I usually don't do it like on a full shelf. I do that sometimes like in my kids' like books and like the library stuff in there. Library, like my kids' room's a library, but you know what I mean. So sometimes for display stuff, like I do that with the boys' books because it's fun. But like for my own stuff, it's more like I might just like color block. Like I might just like get like a lot of like red covers and put them over here with like a plant on it. And then I might do like over here, but they're not like a rainbow.
Yeah.
And it's not all of my books, but I do like color blocks, especially if I'm trying to like highlight. I do that a lot with like, because I decorate for like holidays.
Seasonal.
So like at Christmas, I only had on my bookshelves green and red books. And just took everything else out. Sometimes like in the fall and Halloween, I turn them around. So no covers are showing and it's like the pages. And that drives some people crazy too.
I gotta say, you have like the coolest bookshelves. It's always like so aesthetic. Thanks. And so like I love. That's
really what I was going
just
for.
Fishing for compliments tonight.
Just wanted some compliments. Needed her to
I should say, I have my impressive shelf, whatever. And like right underneath it, I have like all of my like Allie Hazelwood bright cover, colorful romances. So, I'm not hiding too much.
No, you're not. Look at my Dumas. The S was in parentheses because we're not sure. And my Allie Hazelwood.
Yeah, right next to each other.
I can be two things. But I also have like my little like, it's called a stationery, but I feel like people are going to think paper, but it's like the old desks that like have the like door that comes down and it becomes like
it rolls or
mine
like on roll, like a roller or something.
Mine isn't a roller one, but like mine, the door opens and it becomes a desk.
Yes.
But on that, there's also like this glass shelf on half of it that has shelves in it. And in that, I'm way more like technical. So it's like, I have all my pretty edges and I flip them all around. So all the edges are showing in that shelf. And that's like 2 or 3 of those shelves. And then I also have like a shelf of poetry.
That's also where you have like your Homer and
yes. Yeah. Because I don't want to get those lost. Like most books that I'm reading, they don't have to be like in this certain spot. I can usually be like, oh, that cover is like a green cover. So I kind of just like scan till I find it. Which I said there's not like a lot of organization to it. But I usually know like, oh, most of the books on this shelf are fantasy. So it might be over here.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But that like poetry, like I don't want to get those mixed in. That'd be way like, oh, let me find that really small book of whatever. Like, no. So I have them and I keep my nonfiction by itself too.
Okay.
So, unless I'm using them for decoration purposes.
Yeah.
So.
I will say I have one of those little like wooden triangles that you like put your book on.
I do too.
Right by my front door, and I have my very pretty literary letter for every day.
That's what's on mine.
Is it really?
Yes, that's
because it's just so beautiful, and I want people to see that when they walk in my house. Like, oh, my friend gave this to me for Christmas.
Yeah, her like really thoughtful friend who knows she loves letters. I just gave myself a compliment.
Yeah.
Told you, fishing for him today. That's what's exactly on my little wood triangle.
Yeah.
It's my letters. And you also have a nice little, you've been working on your cloth bound.
I have. Yeah. I've been slowly building up my collection of cloth bound classics.
So I think we're pretty similar though. We're not like super like, it has to be perfect.
No.
But this is debatable. People got big opinions about this.
I've heard some big opinions.
So, and I've heard so many people like make fun of the color blocking thing. And I'm always like, I do that.
I have always been tempted to put my bookshelves in like a rainbow because I think they're so pretty.
They are pretty.
I do think it might be a bit of a nightmare trying to find a specific book. If you're like, oh crap, what color was that spine?
Yeah, exactly.
But it would be just nice to look at.
Yeah. That's why like I have like like I said, in my kids' room, we're working on their built-ins right now because we've moved recently. But like at our old house, their top shelf was a rainbow, and a lot of it was like our books, but we just like made a rainbow.
Super cute. I love it
because it was fun for like that room and like whatever. So, anyways,
book should make you happy.
Do it
however you like it.
Yeah, guys, don't feel like tempted to have to be like they have to be in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
unless you want them.
Unless you, if that brings you joy, there you go.
Sometimes that stresses me out more because then like when I go to a bookstore and I know they're in alphabetical order, I get so stressed out sometimes because I'm like, one, do I remember the alphabet? And then I'm like, oh gosh, now I'm on my second letter. So it's like it started with an A, but then it's like, oh gosh, okay, so I need an S. What does S come after? And I'm like so stressed looking through these books. Anyone else? Just me? Okay.
Sure. I get in there and I forget every author ever existed. And I'm like, what? I want this book, but who is it by? And pulling it up and, oh no, there's no Wi-Fi in here and I can't, my phone, I don't know how to read.
Right. Yeah. And then it's like, I was trying to find a book the other day at a bookstore and I had to pull my phone up about 10 times to check the spelling of this person's name. Because I'm like, am I missing it? Am I not spelling it right in my head? So it stresses me out sometimes.
Yeah.
I think by genre is probably like one of the best ways to keep track of where things are.
Unless we get into all of our genre mashups that we talked about last episode. And then where do you put it?
Well, and that's also a thing. Like I also have like my little section of vampires and I put them all together. And then I have like my little section of, whatever.
It only has to make sense to you in your own house.
Right.
Yeah.
That was aggressive too. I'm sorry. Don't know why I'm being
That was a fun question.
Thanks. Another compliment.
I'm going to keep them coming tonight.
Yeah,
we're going strong so far. Okay.
All right. So now we're going to move on to our favorite part of the show, our weekly reading roundup.
This is where we each share what we just finished, what we're currently reading, and what's up next on the old TBR.
All right, Summer. What have you recently finished?
Okay. I recently finished a thriller. I don't know why I said it like that. That is not the sound effect.
I'm just kidding.
I know for you that is probably the sound effect.
No, I like some of them.
Okay, this is
things the ones I've never read.
I just brushed past that because I wasn't going to be like, oh, really? You do? Which ones?
I like when you talk about some of them.
Name 5 songs. So this is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney.
Oh, okay.
Alice Feeney,
I've heard. I always know Alice Feeney, but
Irish crime thriller writer. She has had a lot of big things lately. Like her book His and Hers just got a Netflix adaptation that was really popular. I've read a lot of her books and have enjoyed a lot of her books. So this is her most recent release that just came out in January.
I've heard this title. I know nothing about it.
Well, let me tell you about it.
I bet you it's about a husband who has a wife, but with somebody else.
You think?
I mean, what does it say?
My husband's wife.
My husband, or unless they're talking about themselves. Ooh.
Let me tell you about it, okay?
Well, fine, I guess.
The New York Times best-selling Queen of Twists is back with a
Do you agree with that? Is she the Queen of Twist?
I don't know that I've read enough to say she is the undisputed queen, but she does write a dang good twist. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We'll let who said it? The
New York Times.
Okay.
I mean, I guess
who are they? All right. Continue.
She's back with a psychological masterpiece that will leave you questioning everything you know about love, identity, and revenge. Masterpiece.
I was about to be like, okay, wait a second. Is it a masterpiece?
Spoiler alert. I don't know that I think it's a masterpiece, but okay, I'll get there.
Did you hear that, New York Times?
I know better. Okay. Eden Fox, an artist on the brink of her big break, sets off for a run before her first exhibition. When she returns to the home she recently moved into, Spyglass, love that name, an enchanting old house in Hope Falls, nothing is as it should be. Her key doesn't fit. A woman, eerily similar to her, answers the door, and her husband insists that the stranger is his wife. One house, one husband, 2 women. Someone is lying.
Well, I didn't see that coming. Already a twist. She is the queen.
6 months earlier, a reclusive Londoner called Bertie, reeling from a life-changing diagnosis, inherits spyglass. This unexpected gift from a long-lost grandmother brings her to the pretty seaside village of Hope Falls. But then Bertie stumbles upon a shadowy London clinic that claims to be able to predict a person's date of death, including her own. Secrets start to unravel, and as the line between truth and lies blurs, Bertie feels compelled to right some old wrongs. My Husband's Wife is a tangled web of deception, obsession, and mystery that will keep you guessing until the last page. Prepare yourself for the ultimate mind-bending marriage thriller and step inside spyglass, if you dare, to experience a story where nothing is as it seems. Dun, dun, dun.
Womp, womp, womp. I'm just kidding.
It's like pretty big claims right there.
Yeah.
Masterpiece. I mean.
Yeah, come on. I mean, wait, so is Bertie the one who goes to the house and knocks and there's another person in there?
No.
Or is Bertie the person in there?
Neither.
I was taking a drink when she said that and I almost spit it out.
Spit take. No, Bertie inherits the house 6 months earlier. And then 6 months later, Eden Fox goes for a run and then comes back and can't get into her house. And there's another woman there claiming to be the wife.
But it's not Bertie.
It's not Bertie.
But Bertie was 6 months prior?
Yes. So that...
Is this time travel?
No.
Okay.
It's just split timeline. So there was a lot going on. Like,
I
think
can
about
tell.
predicting death and then it's like, what?
How's there a whole new house and family in there in 6 months? That's what I'm trying to figure
So
out.
she inherits the house and is going to sell it because she doesn't want to live there.
Okay.
So
that
she
checks out.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I just take back everything I said.
Okay.
That is one way that there would be a new family in there in 6 months. That I wasn't considering.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, Bertie sounded like a really big deal, and this house sounded like a really big deal.
Bertie is a big deal. I will tell you that.
But she doesn't live in the house.
So this is how it starts, Beccah. This woman, Eden Fox, leaves her house, goes for a run. I'm listening to the audiobook, and then all of a sudden I start hearing, no, not a good sound effect. Like, no, I can't do it. Footsteps.
Either one, I'm terrified right now.
Start hearing footsteps and like sounds in the background. Like it's like a graphic audio production.
I'm actually scared right now.
No, it's like them trying to do a graphic audio production of this woman on a run.
Oh, it's just her running?
Yes, but it goes on for
okay.
like the full chapter where she's like thinking back to how they bought this house and they've been renovating it and all this stuff. And the whole time in the background is
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I
don't
did
like
not like
that.
it. I stopped listening to it. I was like, I can't do this.
The tapping of your fingers sounded really like someone was about to be murdered, and that I got scared. Like my whole body tensed up when you made that sound. So then for it just to be someone running was kind of
Sorry, that was a
I
not
can
a good
relax.
sound effect there. We've
Remember?
switched places tonight.
Yeah, you're usually better at this. Do you remember when I listened to the Twilight audiobooks and I was so confused because they start like it's not really like a prologue, maybe, I guess, I don't know, and they start with like music in the background. I was very confused because I thought this whole book was going to be set to music, and I was like, I cannot do this. And I was also listening to it like 2-point speed, so it was like and I was like, what is happening? I was like, no one told me this about Twilight. And that's the kind of what I feel like you experienced.
Yes, because it didn't say anywhere on there, on this, thing that I got from Libby, that there was going to be like sound effects. And so I did not enjoy it. I ended up going back to it. And I think I had like a chip on my shoulder because of that, because it was so like jarring listening to it. Like I couldn't really even listen to the story.
Book?
No.
Okay.
No, really, there's only a couple sound effects. There was that one when she was running. And then randomly, whenever this like company that says they can predict someone's death is mentioned, there's like a little like jingle, not a jingle, but kind of like ominous.
I was gonna say, let's hear it.
Yeah, that wasn't very
That
good.
Someone out there's a big fan of this audiobook, and they're like, she's butchering it.
Someone was like, I made that song. So it's not the full time, thank goodness, because I don't know that I could have gotten through it because it was a little rough. I was like trying to listen to the words this woman was saying, but all I could hear was the heavy breathing and like footsteps in the background.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Thankfully it didn't last. But the first like 30% of the book was just Eden coming home. This woman is in her house. They call the police. Eden's like, but I'm the wife and all this stuff. And so like the first 30% of that, and I was like, I got kind of over that pretty quickly.
I was gonna say, that's a big chunk.
Yeah.
To just be that.
And then the first twist kind of like drops.
Oh.
And after that, it's like twist, 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 twist. And
so she is a
queen of twists.
I was going to say a twister, but I didn't like how it sounded. So I just,
Twistress.
A twistress.
So I was like back in. I was like, okay, I want to know what's going on. I will say, and maybe this is part of the distinction between mystery and thriller. I know people talk about the genre of like a thriller, like things are happening on the page that like are making your heart race.
Yeah, that breathing in the background. It's probably supposed to make you like feel panicky.
Probably. Like, I don't know. But I think in my mind, a distinction that's important is I love mysteries because I like to try and figure out what's going on. This was not that. It was like a thriller because there were all these twists and exciting stuff was happening, but it's not like the author is giving you the pieces for you to put together. It's like you're purposely misled several times so that there is a shocking twist later on.
Yeah.
So that part of like playing along with it isn't necessarily there. So I think I would have maybe enjoyed it a little bit more with that expectation. Like, I'm not going to solve this. I'm just going to have to be along for the ride.
Yeah.
Because I'm always trying to solve it and be like, can I figure it out? Can I? And it's not necessarily that. It's still very entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where I almost want to go back and like immediately listen again to be like, could I have? And I don't think so, because things are like explicitly misleading so that there's later shocking twists.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But so many twists, so much going on. There was like,
well, she is the queen of them.
Yeah, there were so many moving parts to this, and yet with all of that I've said, I really liked it.
You kind of put me on a ride. Like, I feel like you liked it at moments and you didn't. So I didn't know how you were going to come.
That's how I feel about this book.
Like,
I was like, oh, I don't like it. And I was like, oh, I'm back in. And I'm like, well, you just lied to me. And I'm like, well, but that was kind of cool. And so that's how I felt about this book.
Oh, well, I reckon I won't read it.
No, I think you could. It's not scary.
I don't think I will.
That's fine. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, you think I'm going to like bump that one up on my list?
You have so many to read that.
No,
I don't see you reading this one.
By the time I get to it, it's like no one's going to even like, it's not going to be new anymore. And everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, like that was out like 10 years ago. Everyone knows how that one ends.
I will say, I don't think it's my favorite Alice Feeney. I liked this one better than the one she released last year. But it's still like not really my favorite of hers. She has some really good ones. Okay. So I guess it's kind of like maybe how people feel about like Frida McFadden or I don't other like big Riley Sager, people that write a lot of books every year, like release another kind of like mystery thriller book. It's like summer hits, summer misses. Yeah. But this one I enjoyed. I would recommend. And I do want to like talk to someone about it because I'm like, there was so much going on in this book.
Well, hit us up, guys, if any of you have read it.
Let me know. Let's talk about my husband's wife.
Oh, is there something you need to tell me?
My husband's wife. My husband.
My husband.
What about you, Beccah? What did you just finish?
Okay, well, I'm going to bring it on down. So I just read a book called The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I know you've heard of Ta-Nehisi Coates.
I have.
We have talked about him. But it's definitely like on the nonfiction side. I'm trying to figure it out if it's not necessarily a book of essays, but it's kind of like in 3 parts and they're essay like. Let's just read the thing. Maybe it calls it essays. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So this isn't necessarily longer than any of the other ones we've read, but it's a little bit long because it talks about like the 3 sections. Okay. So just hang with me.
I'm in.
Okay. Ta-Nehisi Coates originally set off to write a book about writing in the tradition of Orwell's classic Politics in the English Language, but found himself grappling with deeper questions about how our stories, our reporting and imaginative narratives, our myth-making, expose and distort our realities. The first of the book's 3 intertwining essays,
you got it,
okay, is set in Dakar, Dakar?
Sure.
Senegal.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just, I always gotta, I was about to say fact check me, but pronunciation check me. Despite being raised as a strict Afrocentrist, Coates has never set foot on the African continent until now. He roams the steampunk city of old traditions and new machinery, but everywhere he goes, he feels as if he's in two places at once, a modern city in Senegal and a mythic kingdom in his mind. Finally, he travels to the slave castles off the coast and has his own reckoning with the legacy of the Afrocentric dream. He takes readers along with him. So that's the first one. Second one. He takes readers along with him to Columbia, South Carolina, where he meets an educator whose job is threatened for teaching one of Coates' own books. Basically, it's kind of like a banning type situation. There, he discovers a community of mostly white supporters who are transformed by the racial reckoning of 2020. But he also explores the backlash to this reckoning and the deeper myths of the community, a capital of the Confederacy with statues and segregationists looming over its public squares. And then the third one. And in Palestine, Coates discovers a devastating gap between the narratives we've accepted and the clashing reality of life on the ground. He meets with activists and dissidents, Israelis and Palestinians, the old who remember their dispositions on two continents, and the young who have only known struggle and disillusionment. He travels into Jerusalem, the heart of Zionist mythology, into the occupied territories where he sees the reality the myth is meant to hide. It is the hidden story that draws him in and profoundly changes him and makes the war that would soon come all more devastating. Written at a dramatic moment in American and global life, this work from one of the country's most important writers is about the urgent need to untangle ourselves from the destructive nationalist myths that shape our world and our own souls and embrace the liberating power of even the most difficult truths. Whew, got it all out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start off by saying, like, obviously this one is going to have like a lot of political, tensions, feelings, whatever. So I would say that, like, kind of like know yourself to lead yourself on this one, like, because there's going to be things that are going to be said that you might agree with, things that are going to be said that you might not agree with. He's also looking at all of it through the lens of like a black man. So there's just like a lot going on. So it's obviously heavy because of what it's dealing with, particularly the Palestine, which is the last essay. That one is really heavy. The other two, like, he's making tons of, like, there's really interesting, like, thoughts and, like, truths and, like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Like, I've never thought of it in that way. Like, he really challenged my thinking in a lot of ways. But then obviously the third one, because it's so relevant right now.
Yeah, I would say, I wonder if it's because the first two are a little bit more historical context.
Yes, yeah.
Where, like, the third one is ongoing right now.
And to be honest, I didn't read the blurb before I started it. Big surprise. I read the first two lines that he, like, wanted to write a book about writing in Orwell's, like, style and then whatever. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm in. And so I went in, like, completely blind to, like, what was going to happen in it. And I really did enjoy it. And I'll say though, like, it's challenging. Like, it challenged me in a lot of ways. There's some things that it's like, I need to think more about that because I don't know if I agree or how I feel about that. But it's also one of those books, like, it's like, I don't know how to say this, and so maybe help me. Like, it's not like necessarily written for me, but it is written for me, if that makes sense. Like,
sure.
But I'm a white woman in Oklahoma, so like what he's trying to say overall about, like, all this, like, myth that's happening and how we construct all these, like, systems and whatever, that's for everybody. But obviously, like, he's talking from, like, a personal experience lens that is not my personal experience lens. So that's why I said it's, like, really challenging. So it's like, you got to know yourself and you have to be, like, have some tough skin.
Willing to reflect on some of these themes that you may not be familiar with. I love books like this that challenge my worldview, give me, like, a window into the way that other people see the world. And a lot of times it'll start like a little rabbit hole that I'll want to learn more from other people's perspectives and, like, what's the balance and what's this, and I want to just, like, learn more about topics. Doesn't mean it's always easy to read about those topics.
Exactly. It's really hard to read about it because you are going to be confronted with just, like, unknown biases that you have, even if they're not, like, it's not like the super, like, negative thing that I've ever noticed or whatever, but just being like, oh, I've never had to think about that. And, like, because I just have, like, a different experience. And so, but I enjoy things like that. But like I said, like you have to go in. Like I think I was kind of talking to Summer about this book before we started because I really needed to process some things with somebody. But it's one of those books too where it's like I also need to like read, not necessarily about his like race experience. Don't mishear what I'm saying here. But I need to read some counter arguments almost for some of like these bigger statements he's making about some other themes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they're pretty bold and I liked them, but they also like hurt a little bit. And so I was like, I need to like make sure I fully understand this.
Sure.
So I need to look deeper into this topic because I don't want to just be like, oh, this sounds right. So I 100% agree with it just because I heard a really persuasive like argument for it, which it is. It's really good. Like, and he is like a journalist as well. So like he is like, he's going to be fact checking. Like he's not just like some random guy who's making opinions. He was actually in like Palestine, like interviewing people like on the ground kind of thing. So like, and he's constantly telling you where he got that. I read a review that says like it feels more like you're reading a writer's diary. And I was like, that's so like, it's a really good way to think about it. It's super polished, so it doesn't feel like rough like a reader's diary, but it feels very like internal, his internal struggles as he was in these places. And so it feels really raw.
I could see that.
Yeah. So anyway,
also just in like war in any sense would also be just very raw and hard.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I don't know enough about a topic to have formed an opinion about it or processed enough.
Which I think is exactly like what the point he's trying to make in the book. It's like some of the things that I'm like, oh, I don't know, is because that's like the single story I've heard about something for so long. And so he's kind of challenging some thoughts there. And again, it doesn't make him right just because he's challenging them. But I'm also like, hold on, I need to actually evaluate this though. Like I need to think through like what I actually think and feel about this and how much of this is just like these like
stories we've been told,
and these like by like these like biased like what's the word I'm looking for, like, but like these like assumptions I make about things or like just my upbringing and like the circles and environments I was raised in. And again, like I don't think he challenges them in a way that I'm like offended by anything he's saying, but some of it's like oh, I don't know. Like, do I think that? Do I not? So I don't know. I think it's really good, but you have to be someone who I think wants to be like, I mean, I think it's for everybody, but I feel like it's for everybody when they're at the place
that can maybe like do some reflection. And accept information that they may not agree with.
Yes. And again, you have to remember as you're reading it, like, especially like I said, like as a white woman reading this book, like that, it's not going to like be holding me in like a little baby carriage, making sure it's like protecting me. Does that make sense?
It's not written to be palatable.
Yes.
And like easy to digest.
Right. And so that's why I'm saying like, kind of like know yourself to lead yourself in this one, because like if you aren't ready for that or don't want to read things like that, I would pass.
I would recommend anybody that is interested in a topic like this, or just like maybe the like kind of perspective shifting type of social justice book like this. If you're interested in diving into that, reach out to us because I have a lot of recommendations of books to start with.
Well, in summer, you actually probably read more books like this than I do. I feel like not that I read more, but I feel like I read a lot of this from like the literature side. And you also read those, but you know what I'm saying? Like you read way more probably on the nonfiction side than I do.
In the last couple of years when I've kind of delved deeper into the world of nonfiction.
It's a great word.
Like I said, I enjoy these type of books. So I 100% reckon I'll read this. It sounds really interesting. And it's also kind of bringing up a memory. I think I watched like a Today Show interview with Ta-Nehisi Coates when this book released, and they were talking about his process of writing it and how he was traveling, and it challenged his assumptions that he had.
It did. And that's what's interesting because like obviously he went in thinking he was like going for one thing, and then he got there, and I don't want to say he was triggered, but he is pretty triggered because it is so similar to like the slave experience in America. that it like wrecked him while he was there.
Yeah.
And so like, and I don't think he expected that. I think he like thought he was just kind of going in to report something, and then he was like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
So
You said this was it like a pretty quick audiobook?
Yeah, I think it's like 280 pages or something, with the audiobook's 5 hours.
Okay.
And of course, I listened to it at 2.3 speed. His voice actually does really well because he is who does the audiobook. Like, he was, like, I'm not saying I enjoyed his voice, but like, I enjoyed his voice even at a faster speed.
Sure.
Just sometimes it like messes up someone's voice and you're like, ugh.
Their cadence. Yeah.
Yes. Like, I tried to listen to like a Nate Bargatze, his book, Big Dumb Eyes, fast. And I was like, oh no, you cannot listen.
Well, that's comedy. Timing is
right.
like everything.
Timing. And also Nate Bargatze is such a slow deliverer. I was like, no, you have to listen to it at his speed because that's what he does. But this book was fine, like sped up a little bit. Like I could still follow him. Like even at a faster speed, he was easy to understand.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Good to know.
So.
No, I really reckon I'm going to read this.
Yeah. I think you'll like it a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Again, like I kind of want you to because I need you to help me process.
Sure.
Because I'm kind of like in this like, oh gosh.
What do I think? What do I feel?
I'm in an existential crisis right now.
I'm here for it. Give me your existential crisis.
Right. Okay. So what are you currently reading?
Okay. So we're going to go on a journey here, Beccah. Are you ready?
I love a journey.
Okay. We're going on a journey.
Let's go with an adventure.
An adventure. Good word. So, originally,
I'm just giving you some good words.
And I'm giving you lots of compliments.
I know.
I was originally going to talk about my current read being Northwoods by Daniel Mason, which check out this cover.
Oh.
It's like kind of a creepy little mountain lion thing.
That mountain lion is so big in proportion to everything else on that. Like these look like full-grown trees, and he looks like a giant.
Yeah, it's very striking. And like
striking.
This sounds like so up both of our alleys. A sweeping novel about a single house in the woods of New England, told through the lives of those who inhabited across the centuries. Like that sounds like something we definitely want to read. I got like 30% into it, and it was like kind of a downer, and so I stopped reading it. And then my library hold expired, so it is gone. So it's like, do I DNF it? Do I come back to it? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
A couple days.
I think I'm going to try it again once it comes back to me because, you know, now I had to like place a new hold and all the things. So that is not my current read that I want to talk about tonight.
It's like your current half read.
Yeah. It's like my current hanging out there. Yeah. Instead, I want to talk about
Oh gosh.
a book that I'm loving right now called
I'm so scared.
Married to the Alien Cowboy.
You about made me spit out my Coke earlier, and I just legitimately choked on a bike and I.
Listen to this.
I'm so healthy over here, by the way. I like my Coke and my mac and eggs.
Married to the Alien Cowboy.
Okay, stop. Hold on. I'm not ready. Say the title again.
Married to the Alien Cowboy by Ursa Dax. He has blue hair.
Ooh, that hair is sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You going to describe this cover?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on with this cover. What animal are they riding?
Good question.
Is it like a...
They're aliens, so...
Oh, so is she an alien?
No, she's human.
But she's on the planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this doesn't look like an animal I know. He also only looks like he has 2 legs. Like, is he a kangaroo or is he a horse type animal?
I like how you're focused on the horse animal.
Does he have a tail?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do not like a tail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like a man with a tail.
Hot take.
Hot take. I have a hard time with tails. But that hair is gorgeous.
You like the like bright neon blue?
Mm-hmm. His tail's wrapped around her ankle. Ow! Okay.
Let me tell you about this book, Beccah.
I don't know if I'm ready. You brought robots last time we recorded, and now you're bringing aliens. What's an alien sound? I was about to do beep boop beep beep again.
That's robots.
I know.
Take me to your leader. I don't know.
Do you read the whole book? Everything he says in that voice?
No, I'm listening to the audiobook of it. Which
what's his voice sound like on the audiobook?
It's one of those voices, you know, where it's like deep and resonant, and
that's not what an alien sounds like.
You know from experience?
Yeah, I've watched film.
Okay. let's talk about this book. In debt and on the run from a crime lord whose nose I may or may not have broken, I take the first ticket off-world that comes my way. The only catch, I have to marry an alien cowboy. That's right, Beccah. It's a marriage of convenience. It's like a human on like a space station.
I mean, so that's where we start. It's kind of like, I'm making it goes really weird, but it is kind of like the Marvel.
Yeah.
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I said Galaxy Quest. Do you remember the movie Galaxy Quest?
No.
Oh, I really hope some people out there remember Galaxy Quest. Such a good one.
No, she's like on a space station or something and like
dressed like that?
No.
Oh.
Has to flee because like a mob person is coming because she owes money.
How's a mob invested in this?
There's a mob everywhere, Beccah. Of course there's going to be
alien mobs?
No, human mob.
Space station mobs.
Humans all live in space right now. Get with the program, Beccah.
Is this futuristic?
I think so.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Okay. My plan is simple enough. Shack up with my groom Sylar and convince him to keep me. I can't get through it.
Also, by the way, I'm so invested.
Convince him to keep me during the first month of our marriage. As long as he doesn't decide to send me packing after 30-day trial period, I'll be safe. But maybe my plan isn't so great after all. Sylar talks more to his animals than he does to me. Seems perplexed by every wifely duty I try to perform for him.
Because he's an alien.
And goes to offensively great lengths to avoid touching me. Other than his eyes glowing bright white every time he looks at me, I have no idea what's going on in my new husband's head.
Is it dual POV?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Meanwhile, he shows me in subtle, wordless ways just how good a man he can be when he thinks that no one is watching. Oh gosh, I can't do it.
Is there more?
There's more.
Okay.
Yup. My plan officially sucks. It says yup. Yup. My plan officially sucks. Because now it's not just my life at risk if Sylar sends me away after 30 days. It's my stupid human heart. Welcome to the cowboy colony planet, where men outnumber women 10 to 1 and cattle outnumber them all. Contains mature themes.
Well, I would imagine. Okay, so I have a few thoughts.
Okay, let me know your thoughts.
Why is she dressed like a cowgirl? First thought. Like she's on a space station and she just has like.
So she flees with nothing. The only thing she has is her cast iron skillet, like Rapunzel.
That's what you take?
Because she hits the mobster in the nose with it and then has to run out of her apartment. I don't like that you're calling
him a mobster.
That's what she calls him.
I just don't feel like that's realistic. Like the mobsters on a space station.
Beccah.
That's the most unrealistic part of this.
That is what you're worried about in this cowboy alien romance?
There's
a mobster.
And there's a mobster that just like tracked her there?
It also lives there.
But why is it like a mobster? I feel like
the mob exists. The mob exists in real life. Why is that the part that's hard for you?
I don't know. Like, could they be like a tracker or like a... I don't feel like mobster fits the theme of this book.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get...
Okay.
That's my first
That's your first question. Okay.
That's my first hang up. That's actually my second. I have so many thoughts. First, where'd you get this one from, Summer?
I'll tell you about it. So, my cousin was recommended this by her husband, who had stopped into Second Story Books to get her a book or something. And the booksellers there were like, give her this one. Which I love. I love.
And checks out.
They have a monster romance book club called Things That Go Bump in the Night.
Oh, I bet you they're bumping.
So there's a upcoming book club for this book specifically.
Are you going to go?
Oh, heck yes, I'm going to go.
When is it?
I don't know. I need to look it up. But my cousin read it and she does not read like smut ever. And she was like, she's like, it was a little more like spicy than I thought, but it's so cute when two people that are so different fall in love. And I said, I'm reading it. And it is so fun. It's not great literature, you know? It's not even great romance.
Okay.
Like, there's not a lot of depth. There's not a lot, you know? I'm 93% through this book. I want to finish it, like, right now. It's so fun. It's
okay, I'll probably read it.
It reminds me of, like, baby Summer just discovering romance. So, again, probably not
I mean, you did read the
Ice Planet Barbarians.
No.
Oh, I did read that too.
Summer, you did, but Young Summer read the
werewolf.
The Werewolf.
How to Flirt with a Naked Werewolf. Wow, these titles are going to be racking up in our show notes.
Yep.
And
telling us a lot about yourself.
Hey, it felt like Little Baby Summer discovering romance, and they're just like so silly.
I do think I would like it.
Yeah.
But this is my real thing that I need to know.
Let's get real about the Cowboy.
Let's get real. How much does this tale come into play?
It does come into play. I can't tell you anymore.
Guys, she's so embarrassed right now. I think she told me enough by the way she literally covered her mouth. Okay. You know how I feel about a tale. Am I going to be okay with this tale?
I don't know that you are.
Should I still read it though?
Yes.
But you're ready to have a lot of conversations with me angry about this tale.
We're going to go into detail about the tale, plural.
He has more than one?
Possibly.
Let me see that cover again. I'm gonna read it. Oh,
hang on. Okay, we had to take a break, so
we're back.
I could spoil some things for her about the tail situation.
I was crying, so
I will say,
guys, hold on.
Okay,
you were literally laying on the couch. We were laughing so hard. Oh, sorry, we can't spoil for you. So
nope, you gotta read it. You gotta read Married to the Alien Cowboy to know what's going on. I will say,
okay,
obviously, do not read this book if you don't like spice. With that said,
what gave it away?
With that said, there's so much less spice than I was anticipating. I'm 93% in.
There's just weird spice.
Well, yes. There's only one scene.
Oh.
That I'm 93. I think there's probably gonna be another one, but like there's only been one scene.
But I'm assuming because he's an alien, it's just gonna be some different things happening.
Yep, that's a good assumption. So that is our intergalactic journey that we've been on.
I don't know if I'm gonna recover from that one.
Do you reckon you'll read it though?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
but I am ready for detailed conversation. After
we got to recap.
You have,
that is Married to the Alien Cowboy by Ursa Dax.
Okay. Is that person's real name?
No, it's not.
There's no way.
No way.
Definitely sounds like someone like a name that would write an alien book.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's also a character named Dax in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Look at the connections.
So. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just shift to mine.
I think that is the strangest book I've ever talked about on this podcast. But you know what? I'm growing in my ability to not have shame about books. Maybe I should. I don't know.
No, never.
No shame.
Never.
No shame. Okay. What are you currently reading?
Well, I'm definitely going to take it a whole other direction.
Really? We're not going to space?
No. I'm going... Why have I been bringing depressing books lately?
Let's talk about it.
Let's like go analyze me. Okay, so I actually picked this book up also for a book club. Second Story. They're getting a lot of shout outs today.
Yeah.
This is their book club called Read It and Weep. And so which is a great title. They don't all actually make you weep necessarily, but
this is like their like literary fiction.
Yeah, and they just tend to have like a little bit heavier themes.
Sure.
So I picked this up, and to be honest, I didn't know if I was going to read it. Like I didn't know if I was going to go, and then one of our friends bullied me into it. Not really, but
I don't think it took much convincing.
It doesn't take much to bully me into reading a book for a book club. Okay, so it's called Tin Man by Sarah Winman. It's not new. Let's see when it came out. I actually have the physical book, so I'm having to look at like the copyright page. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Copyright 2017.
Okay.
This is almost a love story, but it's not as simple as that. Ellis and Michael are 12-year-old boys when they first become friends, and for a long time it is just the two of them, cycling the streets of Oxford, teaching themselves how to swim, discovering pottery, discovering poetry. Big difference. Discovering poetry and dodging the fist of overbearing fathers. And then one day, this closest of friendship grows into something more. Many years later, Ellis is married to Annie, and Michael is nowhere in sight, which leads to the question, what happened in the years between? By the internationally best-selling author Sarah Winman, Tin Man is an unforgettable and heartbreaking novel celebrating love in all of its forms and all the little moments and small kindnesses that make up a life. Okay, so there's also a New York Times blurb
New York
about
Times.
it. Should I read it?
Do it.
Winman has crafted something of a small miracle here. So much is contained in it. The complicated nature of love, the power of art to inspire and sustain, the half-life of grief and regret, the liberation of travel, the grace found in small moments of kindness. It seems impossible that it all fits. Yet the slow build of emotion and the cascade of quiet, well-earned tears are testaments to how rich this meditation on love and art, loss and redemption truly is. Okay, so obviously I'm bringing some books with some like major themes that people might not be comfortable with today. But I will say this is like, because it's more like literary fiction, it's going to deal with that type of relationship a little bit differently than if you were reading like a romance.
Yeah.
So I will say it's not like what I have read so far. It's not like really explicit in any of those moments. So if that's something that I have not read it all yet. So I don't think that needs to be like a huge concern. Like this book's kind of hard to talk about because I don't know how much you can give away and how much context people want before they read it. But it definitely is a book that's going to deal with like death and some grief. But it's all kind of happened in the past. So it's not happening. Well, what I've read so far, it's not happening explicitly on the page. Like you kind of already know. But it is like the person grieving that. So it's like, it's sad. But it's not, I have not read it and just been like super depressed necessarily. It's just like, it's just heartbreaking. It's just sad. And so it's this man and he obviously has this relationship with, so it's Ellis has this relationship with Michael, which is pretty like what I've read so far, pretty brief, but they've always been friends, but like that romantic part of it. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't go into like crazy detail about that. They just were always kind of there for each other through these like really, I mean, what did it say? Like overbearing fathers. And that's a generous way to say it. But then he's married to Annie, who was also their friend. So there's an interesting dynamic that's kind of going on there, but like Michael doesn't marry, but then he's like gone for some time. And so anyways, it's really hard to talk about because I don't want to like, it's like without saying like, obviously it's dealing with, I mean, what this New York Times says, it says how rich this meditation on love, art, loss, and redemption truly is. And so the book is in two parts. The first part is Ellis's perspective, and he's obviously the one going through this like major grief. And then the second half is Michael's perspective. I've not got to Michael yet, so I can't talk much on that yet. Anyways, I will say though, it's a very like beautiful book to read. And even though it's sad, I'm like not depressed reading it. The first part, I think that the style, like stylistically, it's really cool because it starts very like mechanical, like almost like disassociated narration, where it's like you can see how like he's just going through the motions of his routine. So I'm going to read you this section of it just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, like with that narration style. The alarm clock went off at 5 p.m. as it always did. Ellis opened his eyes and turned instinctively to the pillow next to him. Through the window, dusk had fallen. It was February still, the shortest month, which never seemed to end. He got up and turned off the alarm. He continued across the landing to the bathroom and stood over the toilet bowl. He leaned a hand against the wall and began to empty his bladder. Like it's very like mechanical.
Choppy.
He didn't need to lean against the wall anymore, but it was the unconscious act of a man who had once needed support, which is a great line. He turned the shower on and waited until the water began to steam. So that gets a little less choppy as you go, but it's still showing just like this like grief of just like he's just going through the motions. So I thought the like narration style was really cool to kind of like, you can see how like disassociated it is at first. I thought that was really unique. People love this book though.
Well, you've sold me on it because I knew about this. I knew about this book club, and I've been intimidated by books about grief and hard books. But the blurb saying like some redemptive to it. And then also I just like structurally am very interested in this now based on how you've described it. So I reckon I would try this.
To be honest, I think that you would like it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, sometimes and you know, I'm like talking to myself here. Like sometimes we get really like scared of like heavy books because they're going to make us sad. But I'm not super sad necessarily. I mean, I'm sad because it's just like a heartbreaking story. When someone told me, and like I knew it was like obviously some interesting like relationship dynamics, and they're like, yeah, it's just like really sad though. And I was like, I don't want to read a sad book about like these two men, because I just didn't really know like what that meant. And then our friend read it, and I was like, is it gonna make me cry? Like I don't really want to cry. And she's like, it's sad, but not like that. She's like, I don't think that you're gonna feel like that. So I was like, okay, because I was gonna she's been recommending to me some fire books, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna trust her on it. Not that I want it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, and I'm glad I did because it's really good. I actually was listening to the audiobook like quickly because I was reading it last minute, and I probably got about almost to the second part, but I actually have stopped the audiobook and I've restarted it because I feel like I need to be in the book, if that makes sense.
Like spend a little bit more time with it.
I feel like it's going to be a much different experience reading it hard copy. Because I feel like I've missed a lot because timeline is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because we're going back and forth in between memories and things like that. So
it sounds really cool.
It has basically a 4-star on 3.97 on Goodreads, which is pretty high.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get any great. Should we read a couple of reviews?
Let's do it.
You know I love. We should read space alien reviews. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, here's one. Void, adjective, completely empty.
Oh my god.
No, wait. An accurate definition of my feelings since finishing this book. They did it like a dictionary entry.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like someone
that intimidates me.
I know. I'm telling you, you're not going to feel like that. But it is like, okay. I feel like someone took my heart and wrung it out to dry of every emotion I'm capable of feeling.
Oh my gosh. Again.
Sorry. This was a story about the complexity of human emotions, the suffocating power of grief, the deafening silence of loneliness, the glimmering light of hope, and comfortable steadiness of friendship, and the ever-consuming ability of love. A very moving book.
That's a good review. What if they gave it like 3 stars?
They did 5. I don't know where it went.
It's like amazing, incredible. 3 stars.
3 stars. They gave it 5 stars, but at the end of it, it said 4.5.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it.
Okay. I think I'll
Don't
read
be
it.
intimidated by it. I have not felt, but I haven't read the second part, so maybe let me finish it.
Yeah, okay.
But
report back.
I have not felt wrung out of every emotion. But I also tend to be really dramatic that I'm going to like get wrung out of every emotion, and then I tend to really enjoy sad books.
Being wrung out of every
and then
emotion.
I'm like, oh my gosh, but being wrung out makes me feel joy.
Oh god.
Does that make sense? I'm an Enneagram 4. If that helps anyone out there. I'm like, that really just took me on this like emotional journey, and like that brings life to me somehow. Like I feel fuller.
Nice.
After reading it. So sometimes. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What is up next?
So
for you?
Up next for me, I am finally going to start The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins.
Oh, I need to start it with you. You can't.
You do.
You can't get ahead of me.
Well, you're welcome
it's
to
a
join
competition.
me. So,
well, we bonded over the fact that we both hadn't read these books.
Yeah.
For similar reasons.
Yeah.
So now I feel like you're leaving me behind.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
No, I'll read it with you.
I already got it checked out from the library, and it is due in 10 days. So
we got 10 days.
You got 10 days.
We can do it.
We fly through these books.
We do.
Hunger Games specifically. So I avoided this book. We've talked about this, I think, on the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Like, we have both avoided this book for different reasons. One of which being we didn't really want to sympathize. This is Snow's book, quote unquote.
Do we have to read this one? Can we just read Haymitch's?
I have been told that it is more meaningful reading Haymitch's if you read this one. And also, we have a mutual friend who this was her favorite out of all of 5. I'll do a quick read through. Ambition will fuel him, competition will drive him, but power has its price. It is the morning of the reaping that will kick off the 10th annual Hunger Games, so prequel. In the capital, 18-year-old Coriolanus Snow is preparing for his one shot at glory as a mentor in the games. The once mighty House of Snow has fallen on hard times, and its fate hanging on the slender chance that Coriolanus will be able to outcharm, outwit, and outmaneuver his fellow students to mentor the winning tribute. The odds are against him. He's been given the humiliating assignment of mentoring the female tribute from District 12, the lowest of the low. Their fates are now completely intertwined. Every choice Coriolanus makes could lead to favor or failure, triumph or ruin. Inside the arena, it will be a fight to the death. Outside the arena, Coriolanus starts to feel for his doomed tribute and must weigh his need to follow the rules against his desire to survive no matter what it takes. So,
I don't want to feel sympathy for him.
I don't want to either, but I know I trust Suzanne Collins.
I do too.
And after having reread the first trilogy, I definitely want to continue. And it like reminded me like, okay, yes, Suzanne's got this. And also last week we were with some friends and one of them turned to me and said, Summer, I don't think I can protect you from spoilers much longer. I need you to read this book. And I said, okay. So it was very sweet that she's been trying to protect me from spoilers. She knows me so well. For me. She knows me so well that I want to avoid spoilers. So it is time. I want to read Haymitch's book, Sunrise on the Reaping, before the movie comes out this year. It's coming out.
I know. I feel like you just yelled at me.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm like, I think I'm getting nervous.
I feel like that was personal.
Yeah, it was me. It wasn't at you. Just messing with you. I'm getting nervous that I guess I gotta read this book. But I am excited.
Yeah.
The like buzz of us winning the Hunger Games trivia like makes me want to get back in the world.
Yeah, because we're obviously Hunger Games experts.
We are victors. So that's up next for me. What is up next for you?
All right. So this one's near and dear to my heart. Okay. I'm also rereading it for a book club, which you're going to be reading it too for this book club. Yes. So I know you know what it is. Dun, dun, dun. The Man Who Was Thirsty.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so Summer, I love this book.
Okay, I felt like I didn't know you at all when we were at this book club last month, and they said that this was the book we were reading next month, and you said, oh, that's one of my top 5 favorite books. I was stricken.
Stricken?
What do you mean this is one of your top 5 favorite books? And I didn't know.
Well, to your defense, I probably have like 10 books that are in my top 5 favorite books.
Okay.
I say that about a lot of books. Let me see. The Man Who Was Thursday.
Belljar.
The Awakening. Pride and Prejudice or Persuade. Any of the Jane Austens. The Night Circus.
Well, we're already at 5 right there. So
we're already at 5 and there's more.
Okay.
So there's probably a good like 10 books that I constantly say are in my top 5 favorite books. Why is it top 5 favorite books? So, you missed one.
That makes me feel a little bit better. Like, yeah. I do know some things about you.
But we have actually never talked about this book.
Never.
Because it's not a book a lot of people have heard of.
No.
And I will take a little bit of credit. I am the one who mentioned this book for a book club rec. So
you're the reason it's on the list.
The reason it's on the list because it's so good and people need to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the person who does the book club had read it before, so
they
agree. Now it might not be in their top 5 favorite books, but they were like, "Ooh, good one." So, let me tell you about it.
Okay.
The Man Who Was Thursday. Supposedly, the subtitle is called A Nightmare. I don't think my cover of the book says A Nightmare after it. It is written by G.K. Chesterton. Have you heard of Chesterton?
No, but I will tell you, you know how like words get stuck in your head and your brain just like says them on repeat a lot? The other day I kept going, G.K. Chesterton, G.K. Chesterton, just over and over in my head because I'm like, what a name.
What a name. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bio about him because I think people might find it interesting. Okay. He's just unique. His name was Gilbert Keith Chesterton. Let's stick with G.K. So he was English. He was a philosopher, a lay theologian, so like a layman, and literary and art critic. So he's super interesting. So some people have heard of Chesterton because of some of his religious works, and then other people have heard of him because of his like fiction works. Interesting. So he's kind of like a C.S. Lewis. Yep. But he's a predecessor of C.S. Lewis. So C.S. Lewis was a fan of Chesterton. Okay. Tolkien and Lewis give Chesterton a lot of like credit for like basically
like
influencing him, and kind of like obviously for fantasy a little bit. He didn't write fantasy like they did, but like he was kind of like the forebearer kind of thing. They give him like a lot of credit for that. So he obviously early 1900s, he wrote 100 books, contributions to 200 more, hundreds of poems, including the epic Ballad of the White Horse, 5 plays, 5 novels, and some 200 short stories, including a popular series featuring the priest detective Father Brown. I knew you would know Father Brown. So
holy cow.
Yeah. So Chesterton is who wrote that.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. So like he's an interesting person because there's a lot that he probably influenced, but people just don't know his name. Yeah.
G.K. Chesterton.
He wrote over 4,000 newspaper essays, including 30 years worth of weekly columns for the Illustrated London News. Yeah. And 13 years of weekly columns for the Daily News. He also edited his own newspaper, GK's Weekly. GK's Weekly. GK's Weekly. Chesterton is equally at ease with literary and social criticism, history, politics, economics, philosophy, and theology. Dude was like a genius.
It sounds like it.
So again, a lot of people know him from Father Brown. A lot of people know him from the book called Orthodoxy, which would be like his more religious side of things. But I know him from The Man Who Was Thursday.
Tell me about it.
All right. Sorry. I feel like he's just an interesting person.
That was very interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry if you guys didn't care about that. All right. GK. I keep wanting to say JK. I almost say it every time. GK Chesterton. Surreal masterpiece is a psychological thriller. It's right up your alley. That centers on 7 anarchists in turn of the century London who call themselves by the names of the days of the week. Chesterton explores the meanings of their disguised identities in what is a fascinating mystery and ultimately a spellbinding allegory. As Jonathan Lethem remarks in his introduction, the real characters are the ideas. Chesterton's nutty agenda is really quite simple: to expose moral relativism and parlor nihilism for the devils he believes them to be. This wouldn't be interesting at all, though, if he didn't also show such passion for giving the devil his due. He animates the forces of chaos and anarchy with every ounce of imaginative verve and rhetorical force in his body.
That's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words.
A lot of words that I like, I think.
Just weird together.
Parlor nihilism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, it's very philosophical. Yeah. So I will say, I think some people are probably going to read this book and not like it because it is very like
conceptual.
It's not an easy book to read. It's very short, but because it's Chesterton, I'm not saying if anyone's read Chesterton before. I know you haven't. It's only 182 pages.
Would you think like it could be done in audio, or would you say like no, read the print?
I think you could do it in audio. It's been a while since I've read it. This is what's interesting about this book. I've said it's like one of my top 5 favorite books of all time. I have not read this book in probably 15 years. But the way I was in college and I read it for a class, and this book like blew my mind. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I've never read a book like this. It like did things to my brain, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't even remember all of the reasons. Like, I remember some key things, but I don't even remember why I liked it so much. I just know it made me think in a new way that I had never thought in before.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool that it was like Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So like the man who was Thursday, like they're all people.
Yeah.
And that play on that, and it's almost like this underground like society type thing you had to go into. And again, it's been 15 years, so if someone's read it more recently, there might be, it's not an underground thing. But they're anarchists. So it's like, it's all about anarchy and like the government and all these things. And I just remember like being like, holy crap, I've never read a book like that before. And it completely blew my mind. And like forever I have like referenced this book as like, this did something to my like brain chemistry. Mm-hmm. Is that the right word? Mm-hmm. To my verve. To my imaginative verve. And so I'm really excited to reread it. I've read portions of it over the years, like in reference to something else. I've read a couple other Chesterton in between. And this is what's interesting what I was saying. Like, this book is hard to read because, one, it is old and his vocabulary is just on a different level.
Yeah, I
mean, you can
that.
tell by just like what I read right there.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the kind of stuff you're like processing and thinking about. And so once you get into his style, it's quick. But a lot of people give up on it because it's just really hard to like, when you're reading like alien smut, no, I'm just kidding. I just picked on that one. But like, seriously, like it's not even like reading Tin Man. Like it's a completely different experience. Like if people struggle with like Jane Austen, I think he's harder to read than Austen. I don't think Austen's that hard to read, but I'm
You're also
pretentious.
an English professor.
I said I'm pretentious. But Chesterton takes me a little bit to get into his like vibe. Like, it's like I've got to get into the rhythm of how he talks, and I got to like get myself back into. It would be like almost like reading like Shakespeare. It's not Shakespeare,
right? But like the pentameter, the like
like it's because the vocabulary is so difficult. But it's not like it's still English, which I mean I know Shakespeare is too, but it's not like Shakespeare's Middle English, and that's why Shakespeare's hard to read. So I'm not saying he's Middle English. But it just has a more like maybe the word's like pedantic.
Okay.
Is that a good word?
Sure.
I feel like that's a great word.
I think that's a great word too.
So it's like when you're in college and you have to find essays and you're like trying to find like articles, sources, and you gotta do these article reviews, and you're like, what the heck did I just read? Like you're
like that.
It's kind of like that a little bit. But once you get into it, you're like, okay, I got it. I'm here. And maybe everyone who reads this is not going to feel like that at all.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my memory because I was in college reading it too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I am eagerly looking forward to reading this book.
Is it
knowing that it is one of your top favorite books? And also just, I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm so afraid that people are not going to like it at book club.
And you're going to be putting your neck on the line like, I'm the reason that we're reading this book.
And I'm going to be so disappointed. And I'm going to be like, what the heck, people? Like, I'm going to get so
what if
opinionated.
You reread it and it's not the same as you remember it? And it's like a letdown?
I don't think it will be. You
don't think so?
I don't think so. Well,
and you'll have nostalgia.
Well, I don't think so because I read Man Alive last year and I was like, I forgot how good he is.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going to disappoint. I don't know if it will like hit me the same way as like this like enlightenment type moment, but I don't think I'll be disappointed with like the book or the writing.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Sorry, we lingered on that a really long time.
It's okay. I just think your ideas are so fun and brilliant and I love you.
Thanks. I love you too. She's giving me all the compliments, guys. I don't know if that was a real one or just
you can trust. You can
trust. I was about to say doing it for the gram, doing it for the pod.
Live on recording.
Live on recording. Okay.
That was our reading roundup.
Are you ready?
All over the place.
We were. We brought some interesting books, but I feel like the last few podcasts have been kind of the Wild West of what genre. But are you ready for our spotlight segment?
Ready to rumble.
All right. Okay.
I am ready. What are we talking about?
All right. So our spotlight segment today, this is going to air in March. And what is March, Summer?
It is Women's History Month.
Woo woo! So we are going to, I don't like that I said that so like real, like I wasn't even being funny, and I like lifted my hand and I was like, woo woo. That was very millennial of me.
But that's fine. You are a millennial.
I am. Okay, so this segment, we're going to kind of talk about like the women who are responsible for
like
all of like this, like
groundbreaking literature.
Groundbreaking literature, who like set the stage
Yeah.
for all of our authors today. So obviously we know that women have always been writing, but obviously not always published. I'm sure there's so many things that have gone completely unread and we'll never know about.
Because for so long, who was in charge of deciding what was the canon?
Mm-hmm.
Men.
Yeah. Men. I'm just kidding. This podcast now, all the men are like, oh.
Turn off.
Just kidding.
If the alien cowboy didn't do it,
yeah, right.
Women's History Month will.
Right. So we know they've always been writing, but they've not always been published. They've definitely not always been respected or even remembered. Like a lot of women, like obviously a lot of stories in history had like a key woman who was a part of it, but they kind of go like forgotten, if that makes sense. So we wanted to spotlight women who didn't just contribute to literature, but like one, they stuck around. Their names are still big. We might mention a few names that you might not be as familiar with, but obviously there will be the big guns in there too. But they also like reshaped what was possible for women in literature. And so anyways, that's what we're going to do.
I am so excited to just sit here and listen to English Professor Beccah tell me all of these things. Like, I feel like I'm ready. Give me my syllabus.
Okay, here's your syllabus.
Okay.
Women's literature. I'm teaching that next semester, by the way.
Hey.
Okay, so obviously, like I said, there's going to be some like predecessors even to like the big names that may not have been as like definitely not really respected in the time. But like I think one of the women I point to a lot as being kind of like the start of a lot of this is Mary Wollstonecraft. And do you know who Mary Wollstonecraft is?
I do.
You
do you listeners?
Do you? I'm just kidding. I really hope someone in the car was like, no.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, if you don't know, it's pretty cool. Mary Wollstonecraft was actually Mary Shelley's mom. And Mary Shelley is who wrote Frankenstein. So the reason I kind of credit Wollstonecraft for being the beginning of a lot of this is because she was writing like essays and like, what is the Vindication of the Rights of Women, I think is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And basically was like fighting for female rights and doing a lot of this through writing. Something when we talk about women's literature, okay, then sorry, this is really nerdy English teacher, but obviously you guys have heard of feminism. Through these like different time periods, it's like different waves of feminism. Mm-hmm. So like Wollstonecraft and Shelley and all, they're like all the first wave of like feminism. So they're not like out there fighting for like equal pay necessarily. They're just like fighting for like recognition. Yeah. A lot of like just wanted to like be able to vote. Mm-hmm. Like voting is obviously a pretty early, like the suffragettes. Like a lot of that's early feminism, wave one. And so like land owning, because like women couldn't have like their land. So a lot of that kind of stuff. And we see a lot of those themes in Austen and stuff like that as well. So Wollstonecraft is a big one. But when we talk about probably that like first group of like, again, we're missing some, so don't be like, what about this person and this person, because there are a ton of them, but we're going to name the big ones here. Austen. Mm-hmm. A lot of people go to Austen first. Obviously she's not necessarily the first female writer, but probably the first extremely popular female writer. And we didn't even know it was her until after she died, but everyone knew it was written by a woman. So like when she wrote her books, like the author was listed a woman. Mm-hmm. So they were not listed. Her brother is actually who got her credited for them after she died. So we're not going to linger on Austen because we linger on Austen often, all the time.
We talk about it a lot.
But of course, she greatly matters. And I do want to challenge people who only think of Austen as romance. Yeah. Like she's not just romance. Like she's taking domestic life and she's like doing like razor sharp, like critical social critique.
Yeah.
And like she is like critiquing society through these books, and I think it's missed because they are romantic, and of course they are romances, but like she's so good.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just like, I don't like romance, I don't care about Austen. And I'm like,
It's not that simple.
it's not that simple. Okay, so I'd also say Mary Shelley, which I know you love Mary Shelley.
I do love Mary Shelley.
We read her recently. We reread her for a book club.
We could also mention the Bronte sisters.
Yes.
Also, who we have mentioned recently for things like Wuthering
Wuthering
Heights,
Heights.
Jane Eyre.
So again, Brontes are interesting because if you don't know, they were three sisters. They also published under a pseudonym. They were like Ellis, Bell, and something. Like they were like,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Let me see what they're, because they, Bronte's sisters pseudonym or pen name. Pseudonym? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Okay. When you said that, I was like, oh gosh. Okay. Currier Bell, Ellis Bell, and Acton Bell. So Currier, Ellis, and Acton.
Okay, I know those names. I don't think I knew they were the Bronte sisters.
So that's what they published under, retaining their initials. So like, isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah.
So Currier was Charlotte, Ellis was Emily, and Acton was Anne.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? A lot of people started suspecting that they were women.
Yeah.
But again, this is how these women started. They weren't even able to like put their own name to the works. Shelley did. I don't think Shelley ever went under a pseudonym. But she was also married to
She might have had a little bit of extra
and Lord
privilege.
Byron. Like she was in that group. So, okay. So anyways, yeah, Charlotte is Jane Eyre, Emily's Wuthering Heights, and then Anne did the one about something Hall. Oh gosh,
the Tenant of Wildville Hall.
Yes, thank you. I was like, why am I blanking on it? I knew it's like a complicated, which I want to read.
I do too. That was on my like spooky season TBR last year, and I didn't get to it.
And I also think it's like kind of, I don't want to say like racy because I mean it's like the 1800s, like
right.
But it was pretty racy for the time because I'm pretty sure like the person's married and kind of having an affair in it. They're like in an unhappy marriage, so they go to.
I know it's gothic.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's through letters.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So, anyways, you'll really like that one. Okay, so obviously that's kind of like I think our ground work, early, like 1800s. Obviously, Austen was. She died in 1817. She was only like in her 40s, but still. Okay, so then we start getting in the second wave. I'm not going to go into all the waves. You guys don't care. And the people are like, yes, we do. Tell us about the waves. Well, they were fighting in the second wave for like reproductive rights kind of things. Like, hey, women have things going on. Can we get some products? Can we get, can we get some help? So this would be one of my favorite authors, Virginia Woolf. You know I love Woolf. I love her, guys. I love a good sad person. Good sad story. Mrs. Dalloway. One of my top 5 favorite books of all time. But kind of. I wouldn't say it was in my top 5, but it's probably top 10.
It's up there. Yeah.
I do love that. Obviously, A Room of One's Own, which that is more of like a speech that she gave, talking about how women needed a room of their own to like to have their own space, and that if women could have the room of their own, they could like. One, it was about like being able to be able to afford a space. A lot of that was like a lot of ownership and things like that. So I love Woolf. I kind of did forget to mention really quick. I do think like Louisa May Alcott kind of goes through this little time because she's Victorian. I think you're right. Am I dating her too old?
I don't remember.
I mean, obviously she's in America, so it's not like England Victorian, but I think maybe same time period.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. But Louisa May Alcott would be in there as well with like Little Women. And we know how I feel about Little Women.
We do know how you feel about Little Women.
If you don't know, I threw the book across the room at 3:00 in the morning.
No spoilers.
Spoilers. And I woke my husband up and I said, how dare you not tell me? Oh, and he was like, I didn't want to spoil it for you. He's like half asleep, and I'm like,
you better.
You ruined my life. But I had always avoided it. I don't know why. It was kind of intimidating for me because I read it like a long time ago at this point, but I was already married before I read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I called my mom the next morning and I was like, Mom, I read Little Women. She's like, oh, honey, did you know that blank? And I said, no, I didn't know. And she's like, oh, you needed to know. And I was like, I did need to know. So, anyways, so that's mine. I digress. Okay. So back to Virginia Woolf.
So last year we both read The Bell Jar for the first time by Sylvia Plath. She could also go in there.
Yeah. Also talk about sad.
Yeah.
sad women.
Going through a hard time.
Going through a hard time. She was a part of the Suicide Sisters.
Yeah.
You guys are like, what? Her and another author at the time both killed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So did Virginia Woolf, in case you guys didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I about said spoiler, but that's insensitive. I'm so sorry. But maybe something you'd want to know before you read their works.
Hey, you could do a deep dive, learn some information about it.
Yeah, and I will say that both Mrs. Dalloway and The Bell Jar deal with
those themes.
So, a lot of mental health stuff going on in this time period, this wave, which would also include, I would put like Charlotte Perkins Gilman in this category too, as one of those. She's actually really interesting because most people just know her from a short story, The Yellow Wallpaper.
Oh, yes. I do know The Yellow Wallpaper.
It's so good. If you have never read The Yellow Wallpaper and you want a story to read that when you end it, you're like, like shake it all out of your body, that is the one for you.
Yeah.
Not scary, but just like
unsettling.
Yeah. But it's all about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And
women,
female, like medical type things, not getting the attention and respect that they need, and like what that was doing to women at the time. It's pretty wild. Deals with madness, which is also a big theme in this time period.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a huge activist as well. Like she was like out there, like on the streets, like standing on a box, like out there on the streets, like standing on a box, like protesting for like women's rights and stuff. So she was huge. She also wrote a great little trilogy that no one has ever heard of. I only read the first one, called Herland.
Oh, yeah. You talked about that at book club like a year ago.
Herland is about these three men who discover like this like
land of women,
and is kind of some of the inspiration for dun dun dun. Can you guess?
Wonder Woman. I think you already told me that. I think I already knew that.
Yeah. But I put her in there. Okay, and then I would also put like Zora Neale Hurston.
I want to read her.
Oh, guys, she's so good. She wrote The Eyes Were Watching God.
Mm-hmm.
Their Eyes Were Watching God. It is a fantastic book. I almost said it's in my top 5 favorite. It's in my top 20.
Okay,
for sure. She just like wrote Black women as like actual living, breathing people, if that makes sense. And like it was very radical at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But what's crazy about Hurston is that she was a woman who kind of like went and like disappeared, like in memory, in history. Like she wrote these works that were pretty successful at the time that she wrote them, and then was forgotten, like as she died and whatever. And if it wasn't for Alice Walker, who is another one of our like foundational women to shout out, Alice Walker legitimately had to like go and find her grave and like resurrected like the whole memory of Hurston.
Wow.
And brought her back to the people.
Wow.
Yeah. Because she was just kind of like forgotten. Because she was a Black woman.
Huh.
1800s, late 1800s. So, well, she was into the 19th. Like she died, I think, like maybe 1950s.
Okay.
So, turn of the century.
Sure.
But, because she was born in I think I wrote it down. 1891.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so like, I think that's really cool that this other like really strong Black woman author was like, no.
We're not going to forget her.
We're not going to forget the person whose shoulders we stand on kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So, okay. Then I would say our more current, and by current, I'm still meaning probably like the 1900s into the 2000s. So like some of these people are still alive. But I think a lot of these names are kind of like big canon names that do get recognized. Even some, of course, like some of these are women of color, but they are still very recognized by everybody, which is sad that has to be like a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would put like Sandra Cisneros in that. And then you like... Oh, Sandra's who did House on Mango Street.
Yeah.
It's so good. She also wrote some incredible poetry. She is fantastic, guys. And she's telling like Latin stories, like that Latin identity. And man, she's a good one. So who else would you kind of think would go in that grouping?
Another person that's got a lot of love from us on this podcast, Toni Morrison.
A lot of love, and someone who does make me too sad.
Yeah.
She's the author that pushes me over.
Yeah. She's scarred you some.
She has, but man, talk about probably, I think Toni Morrison, she's passed at this point, but pretty like
very recently.
Fairly recently. She, I think, will be remembered as one of the greatest voices for literature, but of course, specifically in the Black community, like as far as like powerhouse Black women writers. I think Morrison has just contributed in ways that are insane. Again, I still put Alice Walker in that listing as well. She did The Color Purple. I mentioned her name earlier, but I want to say what book she wrote because I think the title might connect people better with that one. And then another person to put in that grouping, I think, would be like Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
Because, well, first of all, Maya Angelou, she's more known as a poet. But she did write. She wrote I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings, which is hard to read. It's hard.
But so good.
So good. But she, obviously her poetry, she was like our national poet laureate for a really long time. Like she's like done the readings at like presidential like inaugurations and things like that. So she's a really big deal. And she has one of my favorite quotes of all time. And I hope I'm doing it correctly. So you guys can fact check this, but she says, "Forgive yourself for what you didn't know then." And I remind myself of that all the time. Like when I read books, like the first one I brought, and I realize how blind I was on something or how like biased and like these core assumptions that I had that like I find out aren't truth. I remind myself of those words because it's like, I didn't know. But now that I do know, I've got to forgive the person who didn't know and be able to move forward with who I am. And I think that line that quote has always stuck with me. So I kind of have a connection, a personal liking of Maya Angelou. Okay.
Some more people we could add to that, like canon list. Joy Harjo, shout out, Oklahoman author.
Yes.
Also National Poet Laureate.
Yep.
Big in poetry. You could also add maybe Leslie Marmon Silko to that list of like foundational Native American literature.
Yeah. Like, and obviously those are highlights of some like really big, like, obviously our authors of color, but like just to get to see how much more representation we get from those communities as like time has gone on. Because of course, just like normal literature, it starts out very white.
Yeah.
Because women couldn't write, and then when they could write, it still would have only been like privileged women, if that makes sense. So getting to see like that canon expand and start including these other voices is a really cool like thing to get to witness when you look at women's literature. But other people I'd kind of throw in the more modern. I'm gonna say it. I would throw Agatha Christie in there.
Okay.
Okay, I know people like Agatha Christie, and I know some people don't like Agatha Christie. But as far as like a woman writer goes, I think she gets zero credit for the fact that she has sold more books next to the Bible. Like she is the most sold books It's like her and Shakespeare in the Bible than anyone else. And a woman did that.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
And I think that she kind of just gets dismissed because it's just mysteries or whatever.
Genre fiction.
It's just genre fiction. And it's like, guys, you cannot ignore the fact of how much that she has shaped like an industry. And like I said, to be the best-selling author almost of all time is wild. And for that to be a woman. Yes. So I can't ignore her.
Go girl.
Who else would you throw in like a modern? I'm trying to think.
Maybe like Amy Tan.
Oh.
Love Amy Tan.
Joy Luck Club.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Tan has also written some great essays.
Yeah. I talked about it on the podcast how much her essay Mother Tongue like impacted my
read Mother
whole
Tongue?
life. Yes.
I didn't know you've read Mother Tongue.
We have had this conversation.
No, we have not.
Beccah. Yes, we have.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
No, we haven't.
It's the reason.
I do not ever remember talking about Mother Tongue with you because I love that essay.
It's the reason that I went into college as an English major.
Have never told me that.
I swear I told you
No, I would remember.
Yes.
Because I love that essay.
That is like one of my favorite essays of all time. It is so impactful to me. Yeah. Well, that was a lot of women's history.
That's a lot of women's history.
Women's literature. Or just literature.
Right.
Not just women's literature.
And we obviously named a lot of people who have been like canonized. And if you don't, I don't know if everyone actually knows what that means. We use the word canon a lot today. The canon, first of all, let's just call it an imaginary list. This is not actually like written down anywhere.
No.
But it's like literature that people consider to be
important
and actually like literature and not just books or novels. Like they're like, these are like esteemed works. And most of it is obviously men. So
because it was men deciding that.
Right. Men deciding it. And
men in the spaces to teach it.
Yes.
For a long time.
Yeah. So, but the most of the names that we mentioned today and this, like we did a couple like outliers, I think, but most of these are like canonized. So like I said, we didn't even get into like Sojourner Truth. We didn't get into legitimately one of my top 5 favorite books. We didn't even talk about her.
Is it Kate Chopin?
Kate Chopin.
Oh.
In The Awakening. Guys, that was another book I read in college that I literally was like, I'm a whole new person after reading that. That book is, I think, what changed who I was as a person, like how I thought about women.
Really?
And like feminism and things like that. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode of I Reckon I'll Read It. Thank you for listening and joining in our bookish discussion.
If you enjoyed our podcast, please take a moment to rate and review us on whichever platform you're using to listen in.
And connect with us on social media. You can find us at I Reckon I'll Read It on Instagram. Also, we're on Threads.
Check out our Threads. Beccah's really into Threads at the moment.
I'm really into Threads, guys.
She had one viral thread.
One viral reply. Like I like commented. Wasn't even my own thread.
And now her head's so big.
I am basically an influencer
the
on
queen
Threads.
of threads.
Someone's gonna go find me and they're gonna be like, you have one
tweet. one thread.
One thread. Shh. I'm famous.
Well, we're gonna cut and run for today. Join us next episode.
She's just jealous of my fame.
Okay. Join us on our next episode of I Reckon I'll Read It. Bye. Yeah.
Maybe this is fanfic.
Maybe. Hey, you know what? It would be so fun. I'm sure it's very hard work. I don't want to minimize the work of Ursa. It would be so fun to just write alien, spice, smut books under a pseudonym and get like filthy rich, you know?
Do it. I'll support you.
Okay.
Just don't give him a tail.
I can't.
Give him tentacles.
Oh no, Beccah.
Think what those things could do. They could be like massaging.
Stop it.
massage.
the hand gestures right now.
A good old scalp massage.
I am laughing because I don't think you know the genres that exist
No.
within monster romance.
No, I know that it can be an alien. It can be a snake. A centaur.
The minotaur.
Minotaur. Sorry, wrong tar. Minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some wild things out there.
There are so many wild things. So